everyone, Nate here again with Free Up, here with Bradley from Helium 10. Bradley, how you doing?
I'm doing delightful other than the pouring rain here in Southern California.
I'm
I
in
don't know what is
75.
this water falling from the sky. This is such a strange phenomenon here. I don't know what this is.
I think we switched weather from last time because before it was pouring on me and now it's 75 and sunny.
Oh, that's California weather that I know and love.
So this is video 5 of our 6-part series, and we decided we're going to talk all about the international markets because you go to all these conferences, they say, hey, you gotta sell in Canada, you gotta sell in the UK, and sometimes people think it's so easy. You just put up the same listing, same keywords, and at the end of the day, it's not. And we're going to talk all about that today.
Yeah, so like that's a really important a really important thing. And we had talked about that briefly in another video, but just in case you guys who are watching this didn't see that, what we were talking about was how that's one of the biggest mistakes that some sellers make. You know, you launch in the USA, you got a very successful listing, and then you just figure, okay, well, Canada is an English-speaking country. I'm going to go ahead and just copy my listing and go there. Okay, UK is a different country. I'm going to go ahead and copy the listing there. And the classic examples I use, it works in many different languages, but for English language, you know, we call the hood of a car a hood, right? But how do you know how to call a hood in the UK?
Hey, you told me last video,
right?
But I don't remember.
Yeah, don't remember? Like
bonnet?
You guys didn't watch this? It's a bonnet, all right? Bonnet, hood. In Spanish, I don't think I gave this example, but in like California and Mexico, French fries at a McDonald's is called papas fritas. That's kind of like potatoes fried, kind of is a literal translation. When I went to Spain, you know, I speak Spanish. When I went to Spain for the first time and I tried to order that, it wasn't on the menu. And I was like, what's going on? And they call it patatas. It's like completely different word, you know, for the same thing. It's still Spanish, but people have searched for different things. So we got hood, bonnet, we got patatas, papas fritas. The point of the matter is people in different countries, even in the same language, have different searching behaviors, different words that they use, different language. So you can't just copy and paste, because the other mistake that people make when going to the UK or to Canada, after that, then they just say, I'm going to hire a professional translator and I'm going to do a word-for-word translation into Spanish or into Italian for Amazon Spain or Amazon Italy. And then again, you're basing your research off of a language that people are not using in order to search. And so I'm going to go a little bit deeper. You know, we touched on some of these in the previous video, but I want to show you guys the dangers of this and how you can use Helium 10 or whatever tool that you're using in order to not fall into this trap that so many sellers are doing.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. I just want to touch on it one more time. And we have clients all the time who say, I need a Spanish translator, but I want someone for Spain, or I want a Spanish translator and I need someone for Mexico. And the fact that they can have the same language but have it be completely different, it's important to keep in mind as you continue to grow your Amazon business.
Yeah, and it's important that they know Amazon too, because you could have the expert translator, but if they don't know about, you know, how Amazon works or how Amazon buyers, you know, search or their interactions, again, you're gonna have some difficulty. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. It's getting bombarded with Valentine's Day themes right here. Let me go. Okay, so let me start in Helium 10 and let me give an example. And I've done this many times for collagen peptides, right? But I'm going to show you now collagen peptides in different marketplaces. So for example, let's look up collagen peptides on Amazon.com. I'm going to do a brand new search. It's going to come up with thousands of keywords, but I'm going to focus on what the organically ranked ones are. So there's 4,000 keywords. Actually, let me just look up. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 word count. Search volume, let's just say at least that's the top ones here, and ones that are organic. And I'm going to do this for every marketplace. So let's take a look here. So what Magnet is doing right here is it's going out and it's actually searching collagen peptides in Amazon. All right. So what Helium 10 is doing in the background here for those who are interested is we're going out there, we're searching for collagen peptides, and then we're checking some of the organically ranked top ones here. You know, not necessarily the sponsored ads, but we're taking this and this and maybe this and this and these and saying, okay, here are top sellers of collagen peptides. What other keywords are they ranking for at the top? Like, what are they getting their sales from? Because again, that could very well be a keyword that's related to collagen peptides. Because if you have a collagen peptides product and it's ranking for collagen powder, whoa, of course collagen powder is important to collagen peptides. So that's what it's doing here. And so we can see that here. Look at the top. Let's look at the top few here. Collagen powder, collagen peptides, and here's the very famous brand, Vital Proteins collagen peptides, bone broth. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And collagen pills, all right? So this is what some of the top related keywords are in the US market for collagen peptides. Now let's go into another magnet. Let's open this up. Let's go to Canada. All right, let's search. I'm going to do a brand new search. It says, you search for collagen peptides all the time. Are you sure you want to? Yes. This is my kryptonite, just like Manny and the tactical flashlights. I love collagen peptides for some reason. All right, so let's do organic. All right, give me 2-word phrases, and let me search by search volume. So here I am in Canada now. All right, now look at this. The number 1 related one, MCT oil. All right, that's not even anywhere here. Let me see if it's down the list. It's not even on this list, all right, for USA. And here's MCT oil. Now, actually, this makes a little sense because MCT oil, if I'm not mistaken, is what a lot of people on the keto diet are using. I think they put that in their coffee to make bulletproof coffee. Well, do you guys remember in our other videos what we learned about coffee? Well, people are putting collagen peptides in their coffee. So I bet you in Canada, people are using collagen peptides in their keto bulletproof coffee. All right. Now, some of the other words, you see the same. Look, Vital Proteins is there. Collagen peptides, bone broth, collagen powder, protein shake. That wasn't on this list. Hair growth. That was definitely not on the number 7. All right. So again, if you just copied your English or American English listing, you would have missed out on 2 top 10 keywords, possibly MCT oil and hair growth. You might have had hair growth in there. I'm hoping you would, because I believe collagen actually helps with hair growth. But if you're just basing it off of the US research, you would not have known that this was a very important keyword. Let's keep going here. Let's go to UK. New search. Now, for this part of the presentation, do I have to do it in a UK accent? No, okay, we won't do that.
That actually wasn't bad. It was way better than I could do.
All right, let's see here. Wait till you hear about, you see, I'm sure you deal with a lot. My Filipino accent, being half Filipino, is not as good as my British accent because my mother was raised in the U.S. So for most of her life, so she never gave me much of her Filipino accent.
That's funny.
Nathan, what are you doing over there? Let's see here. All right. Let's go to word count 2. And again, organic results. Let's see what's going on in the UK. Let me search by the most estimated search volume. And take a look at this. Bone broth. That's kind of cool. Bone broth has come up in all of them so far. But look at this. Aloe vera juice. What in the world are the British people doing with their collagen peptides? They're maybe putting it in their aloe vera juice. They like tablets. Do you remember in US and Canada, the word was pills, all right? But over there, they like tablets, all right? What else do we have here? Skincare. Instead of, like in Canada, it was hair growth came up first, and protein powder. So again, this is just English, all right? This is just English. You guys can see the difference here in the buyer behavior. The same thing here in Magnet, I bet you Spanish words are coming up. Like, look here. Look at the number 18 word out of everything. Is colágeno hidrolizado, hydrolyzed collagen. I highly doubt this is in Canada, but it could be. Let's just see. I know it's probably not the number 18 word, but let's see if that one was in Canada or not. Yeah, that's not in Canada. Let's see if there are Spanish-speaking people in the UK searching for this. Could be. Okay, so here, but it's only 43 search volumes. So that makes sense. There's this, a larger Spanish speaking community, but look, 43 search volumes. So maybe your US listing, you had the Spanish words like repeated in your back end a few times, taking up a lot of space because you're like, wow, this is an important keyword. But guess what? In Canada, it's not anywhere on the radar. And in UK, there's like one person a day maybe searching for it. But this is so important. This brings me to my next point. Let's go to a different market. So let's say you want to take this and make a Spanish listing. Let's go ahead and open up this, and now I'm going to search in Spain, Amazon.es. Let's do a new search. Collagen in Spain. What are the top terms here?
While that's loading, do you have any preferences on what marketplace sellers should go into first? I know it depends a lot on their product, but is there a certain ranking that you put them in? Is there anything that people should know before making a decision? Hey, I'm going to go into this marketplace or I'm not going to go into this?
Yeah, I mean, almost always I would pick US first, even if they're even if you're a foreign company. I mean, that's the biggest potential, obviously. Number two is Germany. Interestingly enough, as far as sales go. So number two is Germany in the world as far as Amazon. Number three is a little bit of a surprise. It just leapfrogged from 5 to 3, and that is Japan. And that's a big surprise.
Yeah.
It leapfrogged UK. UK is now fourth. UK is now fourth. So, but if you are in Italy, I would go Italy first. Hit your market. You've got your product right there. Unless you're not making your product in Europe. If you're making it in China or the Philippines or Indonesia or wherever, well, it's probably easier just to go straight to America and start off. But if you have a European-made product and you are in Europe, yeah, start off in Europe. And another thing that's important to think about is you can usually use the same ASIN, and then it's going to pull the reviews from the other marketplace. Like, let's say you're launching a product that's launched in America, and now you're going to launch it in Canada. Well, you can actually use the same ASIN, but just be very careful. You need to make sure that it still allows you to change the listing for that marketplace. Like the pictures might be different. Like, for example, if you're in the health supplements, I guarantee that all these collagen peptides is a different package for the Canada, because Canada, you have to have French on it for health supplements, and you're not allowed to say certain words. Like, I think diet is like not allowed or something. Like you're supposed to say weight loss, or they got some weird regulations. Okay, enough jokes today. But they've got some strange regulations up there in Canada that you have to be aware of. So you have to make sure that if you are using the same ASIN to take advantage of pulling in those reviews, that it's still Seller Central allows you to have a different core listing over there. So that's super important.
Interesting. Very interesting.
All right. So now I am in, I forgot to do organic. Let me do the organic search. And 2 words.
And for those people that are hiring freelancers to write listings for the first time, a lot of times, let's say you have a listing, it's on 3 different marketplaces, you're going to have to hire potentially 3 different people, one to write each listing, do the keyword research. I think sometimes that is a common misconception as well, that the one lister, unless they speak different languages and know Amazon very well, can create all the listings, or like we said before, that you can just create one listing and use it for all platforms.
Yes. And so that's where it's not very efficient to have full-time people on staff for like, okay, I'm going to have this. I mean, you can't have 4 full-time people just for almost one thing. That's where it's better to, outsource, for that for sure. So take a look, guys. I'll try and translate as much of this as possible here. I'm under collagen. The Spain is the most different one of them all so far. The number 1 words here, number 1 and number 4, all have to do with magnesium. Collagen with magnesium. So it looks like in Spain, for whatever reason, people love their collagen peptides if it has, magnesium in it. Now, I bet you magnesium in, like, let's say Canada, I'm not even sure if that's anywhere in the top. Magnesium liquid, 67 search volume. So you probably would not even have put that in your listing. But look, the number 2 of the top 5 keywords have to do with magnesium. And so you might be wondering, like, what's going on in Spain? So I look here, and I'm looking under, let's say, collagen. 10. I mean, look here, even in autocomplete, look at autocomplete in Spain. Everything is, if you guys think that Helium-10 is making this stuff up, this is like directly from Amazon. Look at this stuff here. Magnesium is all over the place here in autocomplete even. So let's just see why. If I type in collagen here, let's see here. Oh, here, look at the bestseller. Collagen with magnesium. Here's a brand, Ana Maria's collagen. Collagen with magnesium. The top sellers are all, for whatever reason, it could be a regulatory thing. Maybe you're not allowed to sell magnesium or collagen in Spain without magnesium in it. Who knows? But if you had just taken your UK listing and done a direct translation, look at this. 50% potentially of the people who could be searching for your product, you would have lost because they're all searching for products that have magnesium, and you wouldn't have even had that word in there. They also have a lot here. The other two, hyaluronic, I don't know how to say it in English either, but it's hyaluronic acid. All right. That one has hyaluronic acid, and this one does too. Again, something that we didn't see in Canada. We didn't see it in the US. We didn't see it in the UK. So this is important when you are doing your international listings. Let me just stop the share really quick. When you're doing your international listings, have all of your keyword research that we went over, whatever we did in the other videos. And if you guys haven't watched it, I'm sure Nathan has links here. Go back to the other videos on how we use Magnet and Cerebro to search. But you've got to go through that whole entire process again for every marketplace, and so that you make a new listing in every marketplace. Use your Frankenstein, use the scribbles to make the listing. And then, like Nathan says, you've got to have not just a professional translator, but you need to also have somebody checking these listings that knows Amazon and that can really make sense. Because if like, for example, me, I kind of speak Spanish, like 80 or 90%, but I would not hire, myself to go do, this research, because like some of these things like hyaluronic acid, like I don't understand, I don't understand what the heck that is. Those are technical terms. So you've got to hire specialists who are really going to give you an accurate listing. And then also the other thing to do, this has nothing to do with Helium-10, but images. Images is very important. Like, what is attractive to different marketplaces? Look what the top sellers are. I don't know if you guys notice. I'm actually going to share my screen one more time because I think this is important. Let's go back here. Do you guys notice anything about this? This is collagen, right? What do you notice, Nate? What kind of product are each of these collagen products?
What kind of product?
Like what?
Yeah, they're all pill or tablets.
Exactly. Now, let's go to Amazon, right? And we go collagen. I'll just do collagen.
You got me calling them tablets now.
Yeah. Tablets, like the UK people. So what do you see here? What are these, do you think, mostly?
Yeah, they're all powders.
All powders. So guess what? You might be dead set on doing it and have the best translator, have the best copywriter, but hey, nobody wants collagen powder in Spain. So maybe I'm not going to launch that product in Spain. I'm going to make a tablet version and then sell that in Spain. Now, once I do have that, what is very important to do is look at who is performing the best. The top sellers on that Spanish page, look at their listing, look at the lifestyle images. Maybe nobody has lifestyle images. Well, maybe listings with lifestyle images don't do well. Maybe everybody has lifestyle images of older people. Well, you're going to have to do that too. So whenever we talk about research, don't get too focused on keywords. Go back to our other video that we also did about finding out the buyer behaviors and the buyer mentality. What are they thinking about when they do it? We do that by looking at the reviews. That's different. Maybe, obviously, the people in Spain are not putting their collagen tablets in their coffee. I mean, that would be, I don't know how that would work, but I can pretty much guarantee they're not doing that like they are in the US. So yeah. How are people doing it? Maybe in those reviews in Spain, everybody is saying, oh, we put the little tablet bottle in our bag to go to the gym, or who knows, whatever they're saying. So guys, open up your minds, I guess, is the main point of this. Don't be so focused on, you have a great listing in America, you're going to copy it. No. Number one, you got to research the keywords. Number two, research what is working, what's popular. Maybe powder's popular in one marketplace, pills are popular in another marketplace. Another thing about foreign marketplaces in America, I think one reason why we like the big canisters is people like a lot of bang for the buck, and it's really cheap to ship. In Europe, it's almost impossible to have packages. Really difficult. I found this out working for my last company because the houses are so put together. They need to be able to put things like in the little slots, in the little mail slots, right? So what they do is they try and make these packages as thin as possible. Otherwise, somebody actually has to go to the post office to get their package. You know, they don't have like a mailbox or a mail receptacle. So then that might be something that you have to look into before you launch with your ginormous package that sells well in America. But in Spain, they might like something that's this thin so it fits in their mail slot. So all of these things you need to keep in mind. Don't just copy and paste. Don't take the easy way out. Do the research on Helium 10 for your keywords and buyer behaviors, and then do your own research or hire your VA to just sit there for 8 hours and take a look at what's working in each marketplace, and then report to you what you need to do on your images, what you need to do on packaging, etc.
Yeah, a bunch of great points there. I want to touch on the culture thing for a while. We have this freelancer that lives in Spain that all the clients really love. And I asked some clients, well, what's so good about her? And yes, she's a great translator, great writer. She knows Amazon very well. But most importantly, she knows the Spanish culture very well. And she knows those little things that as someone in the US, I could do 5 hours of research and I probably wouldn't know every little thing about my product. So definitely some good points there. Since we're not going to make a PPC video all about international PPC, can you talk about PPC a little bit when it comes to what you need to know going into international markets?
PPC is kind of like that one is the strategy is very similar, you know, to what you're going to use in the US. You're going to use a similar strategy as far as when to make auto campaigns in order to get some keywords, you know, taking the best performing keywords out, putting it in a manual campaign, targeting ASINs. You know, I actually was just on a call with a bunch of Italian sellers this morning, and I was asking them, I was like, do you guys also have access to product targeting ads as well in Europe? And they said, yes. So that's absolutely something you're going to want to take advantage of, and go over that last video that we did about how to find the different ASINs that are good to target. One interesting thing they say is some says that auto campaigns, for whatever reason, they don't get many impressions. So I'm not sure if that was just a couple guys I was talking to today, but you know, that's kind of opposite. Usually it's auto campaigns get tons of impressions in America. So if you find that to be the case, well, guess what? That means that your manual campaigns are that much more important, that you're picking the right keywords. So it's just the same thing. You've got to do the research in each marketplace. Don't take your search term list from the US and just do a direct translation and say, okay, these are the words that I need to do. It's the same thing. You've got to start that process from scratch in each marketplace.
Interesting. Any other mistakes or things to avoid or things to know when going into international markets?
One of the biggest things, and I'm no expert on it, so I won't talk on it, but taxes, VAT, taxes, you don't mess around. If you don't have that in perfect order, they're going to shut you down. You know, one of the companies I used to work for, the owner was from Holland, so he already actually had a VAT. But now they made some rule that you had to have a UK VAT if the product was coming into the UK, and then, you know, even though he had a European VAT, I mean, it was just next level. They don't mess around there in Europe as when it comes to the taxes and the VAT. So make sure that you cross your I's and or not cross your I's, dot your I's. Yeah, don't cross your I's.
Don't cross your
eyes. You might have some issues there unless they're capital I's. Then you can cross them, and cross your T's, dot your I's, because you have one mess up with your VAT settings and they'll shut you down.
Awesome. This was great, Bradley. Thank you so much. I think the international markets just don't get talked about enough. So this was great. I'm excited for video 6, and we'll see everyone there. We'll also be thinking of other ideas for other videos later on in the year. So if you have anything that you want us to cover, leave a comment, like the video, and definitely subscribe to the Free Up YouTube channel. Thanks so much, Bradley.
See ya.
Hey everyone, I'm making content like this all the time. If you like this video, please comment and like below. Also, click the subscribe button to get even more content brought to you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back at the end of the next video to remind you again.